All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Tuesday, the 14th of April, 2020. Another beautiful day, my friends. We've got the moon in Capricorn. All right. We've got the sun in Aries. They're going to start to square off today. All right. Now we've got the moon going to create a conjunction to Pluto, going to create a conjunction to Jupiter. At the same time, this started on Sunday, Pluto creating a semi-septile, biseptile, over to Uranus in Taurus, which is breakthroughs, change, great change is coming, right? From what once was dead, the flowers dead, the trees inward not blossoming, to breakthroughs coming, all right? Now, this connection between Pluto and Uranus is going to happen until June. All right. And during that time, as Uranus starts to move ahead, as Pluto and Jupiter are going to retrograde, Jupiter is going to pick up with this energy as well. All right. So that's not going to happen until May. But either way, we have this great breakthrough and change, destined breakthrough, destined change, destined revelations, destined eureka moments, destined ahas, destined awakenings. Okay, this is really powerful that this is going on this month. Okay, there's a lot of change happening in April, just like I talked about in the monthly horoscopes. For literally every single sign, there's a lot of change, a lot of blossoming, a lot of growth. Let me show you the chart here. So we've got the moon. I set this at noon. Moon over here. Okay, let's go ahead a couple of hours. Now we see here that purple line, picking up the moon and Pluto to Uranus. And again, our moon is emotional needs. This is our nurturing aspect. The moon, Earth's natural satellite, stays close to home, right? So this is the emotions that stay close to chest. And in Capricorn, again, we are slightly confined with these emotions. We are keeping them inward right now more than expressing and flowing like the river, like we talked about yesterday. Okay. Now we do as well have Mercury going to conjunct Chiron. Depending where you're at in the world, this is going to happen tonight or early tomorrow morning. All right. So it's going to happen either on the 14th or the 15th for us all. And of course, still squaring the nodes. Okay, so we're still looking at both sides. Do I move forward, in this place? Do I stay in a safe and comfortable spot? Or do I release something from the past? Do I release some sort of, when we talk about Capricorn, we're talking about control. Okay, and we have to release some sort of control of our own. Right? We are the ultimate authority into our own lives. So it's important that we release part of our control. And again, this can be dealing with a vast majority of things depending on who you are. Where does this fall in your chart? If you're in Aries, this is pretty easy. This is your first house, your 10th house, and your 4th house. So this is between home and family and your career and business. If I let go of my idea of business or change my business or, the times have created great change within my business, how do I, still survive and provide for my family? So depending on, again, where this is at in your chart. So for me as a Virgo rising, this is in my 8th house, shared resources with the people I'm working with. So depending on where this is at in your chart, again, if you want a personal reading to see how this energy is affecting you, please reach out and be happy to do so. But knowing your own chart and knowing where this lies certainly is helpful. Although this applies to us all. As I have the chart set up like this at 0 degrees of Aries, this applies to everybody no matter what. But it's the specifics, it's the intricacies of how this relates to you in specific, like your astrological DNA, right, is unique to you and where this lies in your chart. However, it doesn't change the overall message that we're putting out here, right? So the moon, emotional need, connecting with Pluto is saying, look, we've got to transform. We have to change. our neurotic behaviors or our addictive personalities or our obsessive natures about things within ourselves. We're not, I don't believe there's children watching my astrology channel. So, we're adults, and we all have craves, we all have addictions, we all have emotional needs, we all have things that we have passion and yearning for, right? As desiring human beings, passionate people. And there are certain things that we just simply can't have at certain times. There are certain things that we want now that we are unable to get. It's like you have to wait till your birthday to open your birthday present. I might have bought it a month ahead of time or 6 months ahead of time or whatever it is. You might have been proposed to and the wedding might be delayed, but it doesn't mean we're not getting married. It doesn't mean that this isn't going to happen. It just means that we're on a bit of standstill, on what we can do in following through with our actions. Now, when we have the moon and Jupiter is square the moon right now. Okay. Jupiter is square the sun right now. So again, this is about our abundance, saying more. I want more of things in my life. And the sun is saying, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's take charge. Let's move forward. Let's create. Let's blossom. Let's get together. Let's make like the birds and the bees. Let's make love. Let's stare into each other's eyes and meditate or whatever it may be. Again, this is all depending on who you are, what's going on in your life. But there's this, there's this need, there's this want of ego self-expression. There's this want to be getting out, want to do things, want to start projects. And Jupiter is saying there's more waiting going on than anything. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, give me leave a comment or something. They started closing down, Home Depot and Lowe's and hardware stores, any sort of flowering or potting. If you want to make a garden right now, like you can't do it because of what's happening with this pandemic. So we're being forced to be idle, forced to wait, forced to, it's like you might want the 126 pack of crayons, but you only have the 8 pack. And you have to figure out, it's like your life is a blank canvas. Your life is this blank piece of paper. And these crayons that you're given right now, it's up to you to do with what you want with the limited resources that you have available, right? Taking on our own authority and coloring within the lines, being confined to color within the page itself, not drawing all over the wall and all over the table and exceeding the paper itself, right? So it's like having a respect for, this is the piece of paper, this is how big my canvas is, and this is the, right now, currently limited number of crayons or colors in my palette that I can choose to create this life that I'm living. And to not beat ourselves up for not having magenta and we only have blue, purple, and white. It's like, well, we'll have to make the magenta and red. We got the basic 8 pack of crayons. So now we have to, create our own magenta. We have to create our own hues. We have to use the resources that we have available. And again, sometimes that is restricted. And that's what this energy is showing us right now, this restricted energy. However, this restricted energy is bringing, again, transformation, change, and breakthrough. Where we might say, I didn't think I was able to create this picture. Again, this picture is our life. I didn't think I could create this picture with just the 8 pack of crayons. And we're going to be surprising ourselves through the rest of April and May as this Pluto creates the septile, this destined and fate-like destined energy to Uranus, which is the breakthrough, the aha. And it being in the sign of Taurus, this does deal with money, this does deal with finances, this does deal with material goods and material possessions, right? Now, as well, Mercury and Chiron conjunction, we'll talk about it as well tomorrow, but because depending on where you're at in the world, we'll talk about it right now. This is healing the mind. Our racing, impulsive mind, the monkey brain, you know what I mean? There's a lot of good lot of good meditation stuff. I put meditation stuff out every day. Started, about 2 weeks ago. Here on this channel, but there's a lot of good meditations, a lot of good things, breathing exercises, things to do to help us slow down that monkey mind. And in a sense of survival, our brains operate in a way of looking for the worst case scenario in order to find a solution before that happens. Okay, so sometimes we could be entering a new relationship, and that certainly is possible during this time, is to enter a relationship, and as wonky as that may be, because again, the communication is obstructed right now. Our sense of seeing each other, being together is challenge. There's challenges with that right now, with what's happening astrologically, and because of course this is the reflection is above, so below here on Earth. However, so if you are entering a relationship right now, the brain's going to say, or again, this can be absolutely anything. I'm just using that as an example. The brain can say, look for red flags. Okay. And our mind will start looking for red flags of why we shouldn't be in that relationship, why we shouldn't be going after this job opportunity, why we shouldn't be listening to our own passion and saying, I'm going to fail at this. I have this urge, this idea, this breakthrough concept that can potentially make me money, but again, I'm stifled, or I think that I'm not going to be able to follow through, or I'm not going to have the people in my life that are going to be able to help create this thing to be what it is, that this image that I see in my head. Okay, so Mercury and Chiron connected together today, tomorrow, is going to help heal part of this. And again, this particular connection this year being squaring the nodes, it's up to you to release that part of yourself that governs your thought. Okay, that governs your thought that says, I can't, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not handsome enough, I don't have the right voice, I don't have the right skill, and we have to remind ourselves that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, but never beforehand. We'll meet people on the vibration that we're at. We're going to meet and come into alignment with other individuals exactly the right time. This is fate. This is destiny. We also have Neptune creating that septile as well to the North Node. Compassionate, dreamlike, empathetic, imagination, destined coming together. So it's like we are still going to have the opportunity to create and to do the things that we want to do, bring our dreams and our imaginations into reality. Okay, we might again be limited with the crayon, the color of the crayons, but it doesn't mean we cannot still create. And that the right people at the right time are going to present themselves, and to be able to be firm in ourselves, confident in ourselves, confidently, firmly planted like a tree, okay? Like a great sequoia or redwood tree, that no matter how bad the storm is around us, okay, we're not going to be just blown over. We're not going to be toppled over, roots up from a passing storm. The storm will pass. And again, it is up to us to be firmly rooted in this stuff, and to allow that change to come through, allow the rain to come and give us, nourishment, allow for the clouds to part, allow for the sun to rise again to feed us, So this Mercury connection to Chiron, this is about our mind. Okay, this is about our communication with other people. This is us taking the initiative to heal, taking the initiative to quiet our minds, taking the initiative to understand that we are that firmly planted tree, and that we can create, that we have the ability to let go of these self-defeating thoughts, to move forward with care and not stay in a comfort place that's not allowing us to get out of bed and to stay in some sort of a depression. I'll end like this. I was talking with a buddy 2 days ago, and I'm just calling and checking in on people. How you doing? How you handling this? We're all going stir crazy. And I said, how you doing, bud? And he's like, I'm great. He says, never in my life have I had 100% of my time. He said, I'll never have 100% of my time ever again. Most likely. He's like, so I'm taking advantage of this opportunity to learn as much as possible, to take as many classes, as many courses as I can, so that when this storm passes, being firm and rooted in the direction that we want to go into. Okay, so what's happening Tuesday into Wednesday is a healing part of that, and us able to absorb a lot of information that's going to help us propel our lives into a greater future. That dream that we all see, this making the fantasy a reality. Where does that fall? What is a delusion? What is an illusion? What is real? And it's like we want to make these things real in our lives. So my friends, have a beautiful day. Have a very healing, healing your mind kind of a day. It's a beautiful day to meditate, to learn, to absorb some information on techniques that we can do to get ourselves out of the monkey chatter, out of the monkey mind, out of self-defeating thoughts. Okay? Look at your people in your life. Who cares about you? Who's calling? Who's checking up on you? Who's been there for you? And to give appreciation to those people, those rocks, those sturdy people in our lives that we appreciate and we love, and to reach out, to communicate, and let them know how we feel, that you're a part of my healing, you're a part of my growth, and I love you. All right? You are a part of my healing. You are a part of my growth. I love you. I wish you enough, my friends. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.